All right. You guys, you are all familiar with the Tale of Three Brothers, right? Yes. Would you like to hear me read that one? Yes?
Yes. Yes, yes, professors.
I hear a yes, please, and I hear somebody's got parcel talk happening. It's okay, I can speak that. Then I will now read the Tale of the Three Brothers. You look vaguely familiar. Who do you remind me of? Someone. Oh yes, Mr. All right, the Tale of the Three Brothers, written by Rowling, as read by professors. There were once three brothers who were traveling along a lonely, winding road at twilight. In time, the brothers reached a river too deep to wade through and too dangerous to swim across. However, these brothers were learned in the magical arts, and so they simply waved their wands and made a bridge appear across the treacherous water. They were halfway across it when they found their path blocked by a hooded figure. Who was that hooded figure? Oh, I'm so disappointed in this story. You know? Who was the hooded figure? Death. Very good. If I was in the mood to give points to Gryffindor, I would do it, but I'm not. And Death spoke to them. And Death spoke to them. He was angry that he had been cheated out of 3 new victims, for travelers usually drowned in the river. These are such lovely stories, aren't they? Love that part, drowned in the river. But Death was cunning. He pretended to congratulate the three brothers upon their magic, and said that each had earned a prize for having been clever enough to evade him. So the oldest brother, who was a combative man, asked for a wand more powerful than any in existence, a wand that must always win duels for its owner, a wand worthy of a wizard who conquered death. So Death crossed to an elder tree on the banks of the river, fashioned a wand from a branch that hung there, and gave it to the oldest brother. Does anybody know what wand that is? Not you.
The elder wand.
The elder wand. Thank you for just blurting it out and not waiting on me to call you. That's great. Next time when I ask, raise your hand and wait to be called on. I'll just assume that was Gryffindor. 5 points for Gryffindor. We'll make it 10. Then the second brother, who was an arrogant man, decided he wanted to humiliate Death still further, and he asked for the power to recall others from Death. So Death picked up a stone from the riverbank and gave it to the second brother, and told him the stone had the powers to bring back people from the dead. Does anybody know what the stone is called? Yes, you.
The resurrection stone.
The resurrection stone. Good job. We'll give 5 points back to Gryffindor. Good for you. And then Death asked the third and youngest brother what he would like, and the youngest brother was humblest and also the wisest of the brothers. But he did not trust Death. So he asked for something that would enable him to go forth from that place without being followed by Death. And Death most unwillingly handed over what? You. The cloak of invisibility. Good job. And Death stood aside and allowed the three brothers to continue on their way. Illustration by someone. Animated by someone. I don't know why that's funny. In due course, the brothers separated, each going towards his own destination. The first brother traveled on for a week or more. She's not sure, so she just left it vague. Reaching a distant village, sought out a fellow wizard with whom he had a quarrel. Naturally, with the elder wand as his weapon, he could not fail to win the duel that followed. Leaving his enemy dead on the floor, the oldest brother proceeded to an inn, where he boasted loudly of the powerful wand that he had, snatched from Death himself, and how it made him invincible. That very night, another wizard crept where the older brother lay. wine sodden upon his bed, the thief took out a wand and for good measure slit the oldest brother's throat. I didn't write it, don't look at me. And so death took the first brother for his own. Meanwhile, the second brother journeyed to his home, where he lived alone. Here, he took out the stone that had the power to recall the dead, turned it thrice in his hand, and to his amazement and delight, a figure of a girl he once had hoped to marry before her rather untimely death. I love these stories. Appeared at once before him, yet she was sad and cold, separated from him as though by a veil. Though she returned to the mortal world, she did not truly belong there, and suffered. Finally, the second brother, driven mad with hopeless longing, killed himself so he could truly join her. I have these cheerful things. This warms my heart. And then death took the second brother for his own. But death searched for the third brother for many years, was never able to find him. It was only when he attained a great age that the youngest brother finally took off the cloak of invisibility and gave it to who? Who?
His son.
His son, yes. And then he greeted death as an old friend and went with him gladly, and as equals they departed this life. Amen.